All right, Shalom. First, and all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Al Shai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. This is Landslide wipes out Sudan village, killing hundreds. From the Associated Free Press. It says Sudanese authorities, United Nations, and aid groups scrambled Tuesday to respond to a devastating landslide in Sudan's Darfur region that buried an entire mountain village, killing hundreds of people. Heavy rain triggered the disaster on Sunday, flattening the village of Tarasin in the remote Jebel Mara range. The rebel Sudan Liberation Movement Army (SLM) faction, which controls the area, said. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the precepts as I go. So this is Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storms and tempests, right? That storm created that landslide, and the flame of devouring fire. This is Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, right? And we've been saying this since the Lord has woken us up. Brothers are woken up in different years, man. This is Bible prophecy, and cause them to be written in paper for that faithful and true, right? Bible prophecy from the Bible comes from the mouth of the Lord, man. I'm finna jump. Verse 5, Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, which is a plague, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Right, so it's wickedness going on all over the world. And the Lord has brought plagues upon this world. That's why this thousands have died. At least what they tell us. You know, when you watch the media, the news, they're not going to really give you the accurate figures of how many people have died. You know, so United Nations humanitarian coordinator in Sudan, Luca Renda, said in a statement that the United Nations and our humanitarian partners are mobilizing to provide support to the affected population. Citing sources on the ground, Renda said the death toll from the landslide was believed to be between 300 and 1,000. United Nations spokesperson Stephanie Dujarric said the full scale of the disaster remains unclear as the impacted area is extremely hard to reach. The SLM faction led by Abdul Wahid al-Nur had earlier estimated the death toll to be more than 1,000 people, with only one survivor to tell a story. He says that the survivor, according to his nephew Fath al-Rahman Ali Abdul Noor, suffered multiple fractures to both legs and a serious head injury. He is in a coma and unable to speak. Abdul Noor told AFP, or Associated Free Press, from the Ugandan capital of Kampala, where he lives. Abdul Noor, whose father had founded Tarasin in the 1980s, said that in addition to long-time residents, the village has also hosted around 450 people displaced by Sudan's ongoing war between the army and rival paramilitaries. It says the war, which began in April 2023, has ravaged Sudan, killing tens of thousands of people and driving millions from their homes, according to UN figures. Massa of mud. SLM leader Nur told AFP via a message app that masses of mud fell onto the village Our humanitarian teams and local residents are trying to retrieve the bodies, but the scale of the disaster is far greater than the resources available to us, he said. Images of SLM published on its website appeared to show vast swaths of mountainside sheared away, with the village below buried under thick mud and uprooted trees. It said the African Union called on all Sudanese stakeholders to silence the guns and unite in facilitating the swift and effective delivery of emergency humanitarian assistance. On Monday, both the Army, aligned government, and the paramilitary rapid support forces called for humanitarian mobilization in response to the disaster, but neither mentioned any potential ceasefire. The SLM controls parts of the Jebel Mara range and has mostly stayed out of the war. Hundreds of thousands of people have fled into SLM-held territory to escape the violence. So, as you can see, it's not only these storms taking that place out, taking the area out, you got wars going on. It says Jebel Mara is a rugged volcanic range stretching about 160 kilometers southwest from North Darfar's besieged state capital El Fasher, which the RSF is pushing to capture after besieging it for more than a year. The area, known for its citrus production, is prone to landslides, particularly during the rainy season, which peaks in August. A 2018 landslide in nearby Trokoli killed at least 20 people. It makes sense to live in an area where landslides takes out hundreds of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people. Hmm. It said the Transitional Sovereignty Council of Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan pledged to mobilize all available resources to support those affected by what it described as a painful disaster. Hold on, Slack. All right, it says the paramilitary-backed rival government based in South Darfur state capital, Nila, has issued a statement announcing aid efforts. Mohammed Hassan al-Ta'aishi, Ta'aishi, the prime minister recently sworn in by RSF commander Mohammed Hamdan Daglo, expressed deep sorrow, saying he had spoken directly with SLM leader Nur to assess needs on the ground. It says the lives and safety of Sudanese citizens are above any political or military consideration, Ta'ashi said. Much of Darfur, including the area where the landslide occurred, remains inaccessible to international aid organizations due to ongoing fighting, severely limited the delivery of emergency relief. The disaster also comes during Sudan's rainy season, which often renders mountain roads impassable. In Sudan's main war zone, like Darfur, infrastructure was already fragile after more than 2 years of fighting. On Tuesday, the army-aligned government based in Port Sudan on the Red Sea announced that it would extend through the end of the year a decision to open the Adre border crossing with Chad, a critical lifeline for humanitarian aid. The move coincided with the disaster in Tarasin, the Sudanese Foreign Ministry said in a statement. Right, so this is where it's located. This is Sudan. This is where it's located. You brothers and sisters learn these maps. Central Darfur. country, region, Sudan, the capital is Zaling, yeah, vacant of a governor. Population 2 million. Hmm, okay. Alright, that's good enough. This second Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And that's what you see going on. The Lord is visiting in this place. And that's how you measure the time to know how close the Lord is. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. That's why we got scriptures now today. The Bible spoke of things that happened in the past and they apply now today. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. This is the manifestation of the end, man. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and effect and powerful works, slacking, and endings and effects and signs. I'm read that again. 2 Ezra 9 and 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings, and wonder, and powerful works, and endings, and effects, and signs. And everyone that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works, and by faith whereby ye have believed. Right, the elect gonna be saved from these coming times, because there's destruction and death going on all over the world, man. The elect are the one that's doing the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, not Jesus Christ, Allah, Buddha, GD, Vice Lord, Trump, and whichever demon you believe in. Verse 8, shall be preserved from the said perils, the said dangers, and shall see my salvation in my land, right, and within my borders, the land of Israel. We're going back to Israel after it's rebuilt back up by the heathen nations. There's a lot of heathens over there in Sudan. They're going into slavery, and if they're alive, they're gonna build our land up. Build the kingdom for us on multiple planets, not just here in America, not just here on this planet, Slakia, and within my borders. For I have sanctified them. Sanctified means to be set separate for me from the beginning. That's why they are known as the elect. The elect meaning chosen. The Lord separated the righteous from the wicked. Just like during the time of Noah, he saved the righteous, killed the wicked. And it's multiple stories of the Lord delivering his righteous and being on his righteous side over the wicked man. So if you just now coming in, read the first 5 books of Moses. That's the history, the laws that we ought to abide by. And with that being said, call all Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles that we will. And salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.